Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today this video will start with a new chapter 2, biological classification in unit 1, diversity in the living world. In previous class we have discussed the classification, the taxonomy. What is taxonomy? That we have discussed about the classification. Classification is a process of grouping of organisms into convenient categories based on the similarities and dissimilarities that you know. So, what is the purpose of classification? We can classify the organisms for easy identification of the organisms. That is the first purpose. First one is easy to identify the organism and study easily and conveniently. It is useful for study of organisms very easily and convenient. And also it helps the organism in evolutionary relationship among the different groups. So that's why we can do classification. So when we talk about biological classification, we have to need some historical backgrounds that will help to how the scientists have classified the organisms, what the methods they are following. So let us start with Aristotle. Aristotle is the father of biology. And also zoology. He is the father of biology and also zoology. So he is the first person who made attempt to classify the plants and animals. The first person who made attempt to classify plants and animals. For classification of these, he was taken some criteria, the morphological characters and habits. The criteria for first person who made attempt to classify plants and animals. So that is. And the criteria for his classification is morphological characters. And habits. So based on this, he was classified the living organisms into two groups. See. Organisms into two groups. That is plants and animals. Again, plants are again grouped into three forms based on the structure or habits. Herbs, shrubs, and trees. So based on the size, the plants again are classified into herbs, shrubs, and trees. Like that, animals. He also classified animals into two groups. Anima, that means animals or organisms without red blood cells, red blood, anima, and enema, that means organisms with red blood. Today we are saying invertebrates and vertebrates. Like this, he is the first person who made attempt to classify organisms. So this is about Aristotle. The next scientist, Linnaeus. Linnaeus. He is the father of taxonomy. Linnaeus is the father of taxonomy. He was the first person who made classification scientifically. Scientific method of classification is given by Linnaeus. Classification is done scientifically. That is, he proposed two kingdom system of classification. He also based on the morphological characters. Morphological characters. That is mainly cell wall. So Linnaeus is the next scientist. Linnaeus is the father of taxonomy. He made classification of the organism done scientifically. He proposed two kingdom system of classification. That is, classification is based on the morphological characters. See, he wrote two books. One book is Systema Naturae. Linnaeus has wrote two books. One is Systema Naturae. In this book, he has given the classification of animals. He was mentioned classification of animals. Another book he written, that is Species Plantarum. In this book, he mentioned about the classification of plants. That is important point you have to remember. Now let us see the grouping, how he was done the classification. See, according to the system of classification followed by Linnaeus, actually he was taken a few characters. One is morphological characters, especially cell wall. So it is a the system we have followed by Linnaeus is called artificial system. So we have done the classification or grouping based on one or few characters. So that's why it is called artificial system. The type of system classification is given by the Linnaeus as two-kingdom system. Two-kingdom system. Two-kingdom system of classification is given. So according to this, living organisms are grouped into two kingdoms. One is kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae. And another one is kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia. Animalia. See, kingdom Plantae. What is the criteria for his classification? That is, the unified character has taken for the classification, that is cell wall. Because of the presence or absence of the cell wall, the organisms are classified into two categories. Say the organisms which have cell wall, all are comes under Plantae. The organisms which are not having cell wall, they are all comes under Animalia. So that is a unified character he was selected for classification, that is cell wall. So because of this, the organisms which have the cell wall, all are comes under Plantae. What are that organisms? Maybe, for example, bacteria. Bacteria, they have cell wall. Cyanobacteria. Algae. Fungi. Bryophytes. Pteridophytes. Gymnosperms, and angiosperms. All are plants. So all these organisms, they have cell wall. Cell wall is present around their cells. So the organisms which are not having the cell wall, they are included under Animalia. So here they may be protozoans, coelenterate, like that, up to mammals. Okay, so like this, Linnaeus has classified the living organisms into two kingdoms. Let us see what are the merits and or advantages or drawbacks of this system of classification. First advantage advantages of this. Linnaeus has easily done into two groups, living organisms into two groups, easily, because he has selected only single pair. It is very easy to create two groups, okay, and also it is easy to understand the classification process. So that are these two are easily done into plants and animals, two groups, and the system of classification is easily understood. It is very easy to understand. These are the advantages. But this system has many drawbacks. See, what are the drawbacks? Now we will see. Let us say you have to remember what the groups present in the Plantae. bacteria, cyanobacteria, algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. And in kingdom Animalia, all are protozoans, peripherans like. So now we will discuss drawbacks of this system. Drawbacks. This system does not distinguish. This system does not distinguish or differentiate one, that is photosynthetic organisms and heterotrophic organisms. That is both the types of organisms are kept in the same group. That is the drawback. Photosynthetic organisms like algae. Algae is placed along with heterotrophic organisms like fungi. So fungi are heterotrophs. They cannot prepare their own food. Algae can prepare their own food. So these two organisms, they differentiate on this point, but they are kept under same group. That is the main drawback. First drawback of this system. This system does not distinguish photosynthetic organisms and heterotrophic organisms. Both photosynthetic organisms and heterotrophic organisms are kept under the same group. That is because of cell wall. Algal cells, they have cell wall. Fungi also have cell wall. So because of that is the similarity between the algae and the fungi. Because of that similarity is kept under the same group. But they all based on the nutrition character. Algae differ with the fungi. Algae are autotrophs, whereas fungi are heterotrophs. Even though the cell wall of algae is made up of by cellulose, whereas fungal cell wall made by chitin. Chitin is also called fungus cellulose. So because of this, both the organisms are kept because of the unified character, that is cell wall. Because of that presence of the cell wall, both, even though they differ with other characters, both these two organisms are placed in the same group. This is the one drawback. The second drawback, the system does not distinguish unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. The system does not distinguish unicellular organisms and multicellular. Say for example, unicellular organism like Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas is a unicellular alga. Kept along with the Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, a green alga, Spirogyra multicellular. So both unicellular Chlamydomonas and multicellular Spirogyra. So these two organisms, they are differentiate with the complexity of the structure of the body, but both the organisms are kept in the same group. That is the second drawback. Then the third one, this system does not distinguish prokaryotic and eukaryotic organisms. Eukaryotic organisms. See, if you observe the plantae, bacteria, cyanobacteria or prokaryotic organisms, they don't have a proper nucleus, whereas other organisms present on the plantae, bryophytes, algae, pteridophytes, they have well developed nucleus and eukaryotic type of cellular organism. So both prokaryotic organisms like bacteria is kept along with the eukaryotic organisms like higher plants, like our bryophytes. See, eukaryotic, multicellular, prokaryotic. So prokaryotic organisms are kept along with the eukaryotic organisms. So that is not. So like this is a drawback in the plant group. Like that, in the animal group, if you observe the animalia, in the animalia also we can find simple organisms like protozoans. Simple organisms like protozoans kept along with complex organisms like man or human like man. So in the under animalia, simple organisms like protozoans, they kept along with the complex organisms like man. So these are the drawbacks of the two kingdom system. So this two kingdom classification leaves many. So in this and also in this two kingdom classification, many organisms, they are not fit into either the plant groups or animal groups. Like Euglena. Euglena shows autotrophic mode of nutrition, heterotrophic mode of nutrition, holophytic type of nutrition, like that. So, like such type of Euglena like organisms, they have not fit in any category, either plant groups or. So, even though this two kingdom system of classification is made inadequate, but this is the first and initial system of classification we are following. So this is about the two kingdom system of classification. The next scientist, Haeckel, Ernest Haeckel. He proposed three kingdom classification. He proposed three kingdom classification. Three kingdom classification. See, he has classified living organisms into three kingdoms. That is kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia, and kingdom Protista. Haeckel has created a new kingdom, that is Protista. Haeckel created new kingdom Protista. That you have to remember. See what he done in this, in his classification. He has separated all unicellular organisms. They may be a prokaryotes or eukaryotes. All unicellular organisms that lack tissue organization or get separated from this Plantae and Animalia. So he separated all unicellular organisms which lack tissue organization. Is separated. So because of that, all such organisms which lack tissue organization, they get separated from the Plantae as well as Animalia and kept in a new kingdom, that is Protista. As a result, this, according to three kingdom classification, the Protista contains two types of organisms: unicellular prokaryotes, and unicellular eukaryotes. So, because of he was separated all unicellular organisms from Plantae and also Animalia and kept in a separate kingdom, that is Protista. As a result, now the Protista include unicellular prokaryotes and unicellular eukaryotes. Like unicellular prokaryotes like bacteria, cyanobacteria, mycoplasma, etc. Mycoplasma. Here, dinoflagellates, protozoans, slime molds, etc. So such type of slime molds, such type of organisms are kept. So this is about the three kingdom classification. What are the advantages and drawbacks of this system? Say, advantage. The main advantage, it is easy to create. They have separated unicellular organisms from multicellular. That is the main advantage. See, he was differentiated the unicellular organism separated from multicellular organisms. That is the merit or advantage of this classification. Whereas disadvantage or drawback of this system, it did not differentiate prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So, though both are different groups, but it was kept on the same group. So, that is the drawback of this system. So, this is about the three kingdom system of classification, and the next scientist, Copeland. He proposed four kingdom system of classification. He proposed four kingdom classification. That means has classified the living organisms into four kingdoms, divided the living organisms into four kingdoms, that is kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Metaphyta, and Metazoa. See, according to Copeland, four kingdom system of classification, all the living organisms are grouped into four kingdoms: kingdom Monera, Protista, Metaphyta, Metazoa. So here he has created a new kingdom, Copeland. He created a new kingdom that is Monera. But the name Monera was coined by Dougherty and Allen. The term Monera is given by Dougherty and Allen. Remember, the group created by Copeland, but the name Monera was given by Dougherty and Allen. So he was in this four kingdom classification. He gets separated all unicellular prokaryotic organisms. So unicellular, earlier classification, both prokaryotic, eukaryotic, unicellular organisms are present in Protista. Now he gets separated unicellular prokaryotic organisms. Unicellular prokaryotic organisms from Protista. And in Protista, all are unicellular eukaryotes. And in Metaphyta, all are multicellular autotrophs. Autotrophs are kept. In Metazoa, all are multicellular heterotrophs. So, see, what is the advantage of this system of classification? See, first thing, he was differentiated prokaryotes and eukaryotes. That is the first advantage. That is it. And unicellular organisms get differentiated with multicellular organisms. So they are separated. Unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms are separated, and prokaryotic and eukaryotic get separated. That is the advantage of this system. So this system advantages. What are the advantages? First, this system differentiate unicellular to multicellular. So this system is created. You consider unicellular organisms are separated. And different organisms, and multicellular organisms are different. And This system also differentiates prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Okay, these are the advantages. What is the disadvantage? This system does not distinguish the photosynthetic organisms and heterotrophic. See, both algae and fungi are kept the same group again. This is in this system also. So that is the drawback. What is the drawback of this four kingdom system of classification? That is drawback. What is the drawback? Did not distinguish photosynthetic organisms like algae photosynthetic organisms like algae to heterotrophs like fungi. Both are kept the same group. That is the drawback of the system. So this is about the Copeland. Copeland proposed the four kingdom system of classification. Based on this, he was classified all the living organisms into four kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Metaphyta, Metazoa. Under Monera, he kept all unicellular prokaryotic organisms like bacteria, cyanobacteria. Protista, dinoflagellates, protozoans, slime mold. Metazoa, algae and fungi, multicellular autotrophs. Metaphyta, multicellular autotrophs, whereas Metazoa, multicellular heterotrophs. So this is about the four kingdom system of classification. In the next video, we will see fifth kingdom classification.